Bruh, should we watch this one? This might be rough. It's not age restricted, so I don't think they show anything. 7 worst winter sports accidents in TV history. What do you think? That video's good. Watch it. All right. All right. If you guys want, I'll clarify. You chose this. It wasn't me. I totally didn't choose this. So if it gets dark, if it gets real fucked up.
Skiing, snowboarding, and luge. All of these are
luge is dude, just seeing luge and then just like fly around like at the speed of a fucking bullet. Bro, that shit always gives me anxiety.
Extreme winter sports that can very quickly turn into fatal disasters. Here are some of the most devastating accidents in human history.
What was that?
And things only keep getting worse.
Half a meter, he has lowered the record, which has stood since 19...
It's March 25th, 2021, and Daniel Andre Tane is competing in the 2021 FIS Ski Jumping World Cup.
What the fuck kind of scream? Yeah, that edited in. Ah!
Extremely dangerous activity that involves launching yourself off of a steep ramp to jump as far as possible. Daniel is no beginner at the sport since he already won the Olympic gold medal in 2018. But even for pro athletes like him, the smallest mistake can quickly turn fatal. During his warm-up round, Daniel launches himself off the ramp and he reaches a speed of around 62 miles per hour. But just a few seconds after takeoff, something goes incredibly wrong. He loses control in midair and starts spinning, and as quickly as he shot up, he crashes to the ground at enormous speeds. He lands on his back and slides down the slope for approximately 650 feet. The harsh impact results in a broken collarbone, a punctured lung, and severe trauma. He's unconscious. Medical teams quickly jump into action, but he's clinically dead. For a whole 4 minutes, he has no heartbeat.
Oh my
the medics
God!
Fortunately manage to stabilize him again. He's rushed to the hospital via helicopter, where he's placed in a coma. His recovery is surprisingly impeccable. Only a week later, he's released from the hospital and is stable enough to go home.
Ja, når du sier det å hoppe igjen, når tror du det realistisk at vi får se det sett ut for?
Jeg håper jo at jeg får hoppa I juli, at jeg får begynt på.
Dude, oh my God. Like every time I see someone like go through like the worst accident ever and then like, yeah, bro, I'll be back in a few weeks, man. It's like, what, dude, like respect, you know, honestly, respect. Respected those guys, man.
In just 8 months after the incident,
bro, if streaming, if I had a horrible, if I had a horrible streaming accident, chat, I wouldn't come back. Fuck you guys. It's not worth it. Like, what if I'm streaming and all of a sudden I just like fall down and break every bone in my body? Like, fuck you guys. I'm not coming back. It's too dangerous, man. Too dangerous.
He's not only recovered, but won the 2022 Ski Jumping World Cup.
Jesus.
Surprisingly, the fall you just witnessed is nothing compared to this next case. Garrett Bartelt wasn't your normal skier. He loved the extreme sides of it, skiing down steep mountains with hard rocks. And with those sorts of activities, it's just a matter of time until something goes from exciting to life-threatening. And exactly that happened in 1992 during the World Extreme Skiing Championships. At 27, he already...
Dude, I swear, back then we had like zero safety regulations. Like, back then was wild. Like, what was that one? Fucking, there was a theme park where like a bunch of people got hurt consistently. Was it Action Park or whatever?
He made it to the semi-finals.
No one cared back then.
Securing him a spot in the top 10 position. And in this round, you can see him standing at the peak of this giant mountain in Alaska without a helmet. And then he starts going.
Without a helmet?
One of the steepest and most technical lines on the 1,000-foot summit.
Bro.
But just as he approaches the toughest part, a 55-degree slope,
he instantly regrets his decision.
He starts cartwheeling down a 3,000-foot mountain, bouncing off of rocks, his body flipping high into the air. It's a brutal sight for the commentators and everybody watching. They can't do anything to stop him from falling. They're so shocked. The only thing they can say while he's tumbling down is, "You okay,
dude?" There's no fucking... Bro's just ragdolling down a fucking mountain. You good, bro? You good? You alright? Walk it off, buddy. Rub some dirt in it. You'll be fine, man. You'll be good.
After 800 gruesome feet and 37 seconds of falling, his body comes to a halt.
He's gotta be hurt. Damn, these guys are smart. You think so? You think he's hurt?
Immediately, a medic hurries to his side, since this sport comes with these kinds of risks. And God knows how, he's actually alert and conscious.
I think he might be talking. Looks like he's conscious.
Even though his body ragdolled down rocks
I guess he
for
was
such
okay.
a long time, he's mostly fine.
First thing he asked is if my leg was broken, and I really didn't think it was. I'd never broken a bone, you know, I'd really never even been in the hospital before. Then when I tried to lift up my leg, I could see that it was broken.
And after some
That's crazy to say doing extreme sports like that. It's like I've never broken a bone. Oh my God.
time of resting, he actually made a full recovery and kept practicing the sport after probably his scariest experience ever. Garrett was an extremely lucky person. The next cases, however, all ended tragically.
Oh, goody. Oh, great.
It's January 29th, 1994, 2 weeks before the Winter Olympics would officially 1994, 2 weeks before
Damn. Nice.
the Winter Olympics would officially start. Ulrike Meyer is one of the top ski racers in the world. She's a world-class alpine racer. Alpine racing is a skiing discipline where athletes race on mountain courses with marked gates.
That dude
And
had a
she's
bakery.
also a two-time champion in Super G, which is a
Why is he caked up? We
form
get
of
it. You're gay. Bro, I can't respect another man's cheeks. Huh? It's respect. Okay, that's what it's called.
alpine racing that involves a giant slalom. But today isn't about the Olympics yet. It's about the Women's World Cup in Germany. The event is being broadcasted live on TV, and fans, including her own daughter, are
It's not
watching
Pride
her in
Month yet?
person. Ulrike is about to race, giving it her all.
Uli Meier, Sie kommen aus der Besichtigung zurück. Wie präsentiert sich diese Strecke heute?
Ja, die präsentiert sich nicht so gut. Es ist total
Oh,
eisig.
God. Famous last words. Holy shit.
Also sehr, sehr glatt und
Oh,
da müssen
God.
sicher noch was da, sonst ist es zu gefährlich.
Her downhill race starts off great. Her form is immaculate, and she's showing the world once again what kind of skill and precision she actually has. She completes
dying, yet here's me, who is terrified of getting in the elevator after it stopped for 2 minutes.
True.
the upper sections of the course and reaches a speed of around 65 miles per hour. She's now less than 20 seconds away from the finish line when suddenly her right ski catches an inside edge of soft snow, causing her to lose control completely. She's thrown off course immediately, and her body strikes a hard pile of snow at enormous speeds, and she breaks her neck. Despite wearing a helmet, the world and her 4-year-old daughter witness live.
Oh my god, dude, her fucking daughter was watching. Oh, fuck.
As she lies there, unconscious. Medical teams come to the rescue, and a helicopter flies her to a nearby hospital. There's nothing they can do though. She unfortunately succumbs to her injuries. Her death remains one of the darkest moments in the history of competitive skiing.
Oh my god.
It's March
Yeah, her poor fucking daughter, dude. Holy shit.
10th, 2012 at Grindelwald, Switzerland. It's the 8th final of the ski.
Dude, these like ski races, man, are always like, they stress me out, bro.
Cross World Cup season. An event where skiers race down a course filled with turns and jumps. Ski cross is often called one of the most dangerous disciplines in skiing
Yeah,
because
I'd say
of the
so.
high velocity and sharp turns. But Nick Zorich is no stranger to these risks. He's representing Canada on the world stage today with a decent track record. He already finished second at the Ski Cross World Cup in 2011. The day of the event starts like always. The fans are cheering and excited to watch the race, while the athletes are mentally preparing themselves for the next couple of minutes. The moment Nick starts, he's in top form. He's going through the upper sections of the course without any big problems. He's just slightly behind the others. He's traveling at around 60 miles per hour when a section comes where he needs to jump. And this is where things take a turn for the worse. He misjudges the final jump and launches off the edge. He flies to the right and misses the landing zone entirely. Nick crashes into the safety netting. The impact is catastrophic. The viewers
Oh,
don't
God.
realize the tragic event that just happened in front of their very eyes.
God,
Medical
dude.
teams rush to his aid, but it's simply too late.
All snow sports are incredibly dangerous? Yes, they fucking are, dude. Because they're all down a fucking hill and you're always going like 100 miles an
Despite
hour.
all the safety precautions, Nick sustains fatal head injuries. At just 29 years old, Nick Zorich's life comes to an abrupt and heartbreaking end on live TV.
God damn.
This very thing ended up sparking a lot of talk about the safety regulations of the sport. And a lot of people, including his family.
See, this is what I'm talking about. The reason there's so many safety regulations now is because people like this, like people who fucking die horribly in these accidents. Like, oh, you know what? Now we'll start taking this seriously. You know what I mean?
Family are convinced that his death
We gotta wait for people to die,
The police,
you know?
however, reported that this was just another sporting accident and not due to any flaw on the ski course. His family then established the Nick Zorich Foundation to promote safety in skiing and ensure that no other athlete has to suffer the same fate as him. This next case also shows how one simple, tiny mistake can cost you your life.
Dude, stop with the scream, man. Stop with the fucking, like, post-edited scream, bro.
Sarah Berg was the best Canadian freestyle skier. She was extremely skilled, winning the gold medal in the Winter X Games a total of 5 times.
Damn.
An event that includes freestyle skiing. She also won the World Championship and
Dude, I miss the X Games. I used to watch this shit all the time on TV when I was younger.
the half pipe in 2005, which is actually the same sport she managed to introduce to the Olympic Games for the 2014 Winter Olympics. It's safe to say that she was at the top of her field and extremely influential. And the only achievement that could make her career
Silent Hill
even
2.
more impressive would be to participate and
Music.
win in the Olympics. But before that could happen, she decided to compete in the Winter X Games once again. Unfortunately, she would be long gone by the time of both the Olympics as well as the Winter X Games. It's January 10th, 2012, and
Practice?
Sarah is training at the Park City Mountain Resort in Utah. She's practicing on the Super Pipe, which is a large U-shaped structure for freestyle skiing and snowboarding. While performing her routine though, and practicing her tricks, Sarah flips in midair and falls onto her head. A shocking sight at first, but the accident doesn't appear to be tragic. She's conscious and onlookers don't worry too much, until just seconds later, she goes into cardiac arrest. She wasn't actually okay. The fall resulted in a ruptured vertebral artery, which led to severe brain damage due to the lack of oxygen and blood. Medical teams eventually arrive and bring her to the University Hospital in Salt Lake City, where she's placed in a medically
Ha, fuck you. Fuck you. The pipe didn't work because I don't have it turned up during videos.
induced coma. Truly one of the worst timings possible for an already very tragic crash. And unfortunately, she left this earth on January 19th, just 9 days.
Dude, I swear I've seen that video before of her like trying to do a backflip. I swore I've seen it in like a meme or some shit.
Days later, from what seems like such a small mistake in her routine. On February 23rd, 2014, her ashes were spread in the mountains over Sochi, Russia, during the 2014 Olympic Games. Her former coach, Trenton Paintner, spread them in the halfpipe as a tribute to her legacy.
Oh, this is rough, man. This is rough. We're only like 10 minutes in, bro.
This is a picture of Gernot Reinstadler, taken on Christmas, 1990.
What kind of memes are you watching? What are you talking about? Dude, that's what's so stupid. People use memes of like really depressing, horrible things just for like just to be edgy. You know what I mean? But put them in like goofy memes that are just like basic. You know what I mean? I swear I've seen it in like just like a added dumb sound effect meme or something like that. No, it's this guy. Oh, I love that. Okay.
Weeks before he would suffer one of the most gruesome deaths in skiing history.
Oh!
Born on August 24th, 1970 in Austria, Gernot was regarded as one of the most promising young talents of the Austrian downhill team. He was a rising star in the alpine skiing world. He competed in the Junior World Cups of 1988 and 1989 and was also able to win 3 medals in the Austrian Junior Cup. His future seemed destined for greatness. January 18th, 1991 was one of the most important days of Gernald's career. It was his chance to prove himself, to solidify his place among the best. He had been selected to compete in the qualification round for the legendary Lauberhorn race in Switzerland. If you're not familiar with the Lauberhorn, it is the longest and most challenging downhill race in the Ski World Cup. It stretches over 3 miles.
God
and
damn.
skiers can reach speeds of over 100 miles per hour.
God damn.
Only the 30 fastest competitors would even have the opportunity to be on the world stage, and Gernald was one of them. Starting as number 44,
God, that is like look at that getup. That is so fucking 90s right there. That looks like one of those gas station cups. Can I please get to the picture?
One of them.
Like look at that, dude. Can we bring this shit back? It's so fire. Like look how 90s that is, bro.
Starting as number 44, he was filled with energy. So much so that
colorful
his
back
teammate,
then.
Erwin Resch, considered pulling him aside to warn him about being too reckless during the warm-up. He held back, however, thinking that a young athlete like Gernald shouldn't be limited in any way. The qualification race was broadcast live, and for the first 2.5 minutes, Gernald raced down the course successfully. It seemed like the world would see him attending the World Cup very soon. But right before he's able to reach the finish line, something so disturbing yet unbelievable happens. Gernald loses control and crashes into the safety nets at full speed. But instead of saving him, the net becomes a death trap. One of his skis gets caught in them, while he proceeds to fly off. A significant portion of his pelvis cracks, and he's almost ripped into 2 parts. The video is way too graphic to show you, but he's able to do the splits without any prior training, it seems like. The white snow is now covered.
Gruesome videos. Will you be my Valentine?
Oh, I was not ready for that, bro. Oh my god. Oh, dude.
Paramedics rush to his side, trying everything in their ability to mitigate the damage, until a helicopter transports him to the local hospital. He has a 6-hour emergency surgery with numerous blood transfusions, but it's not enough. Gernald unfortunately leaves this earth.
Dude, that is wow. That is like the worst fucking way to go. Oh my god. Sorry, people eating food. Yeah, sorry, people who had an appetite. It's probably gone now. It's probably gone now. God damn. Oh.
Shortly after midnight on the 19th, his death sends shockwaves to the entire skiing world and definitely left thousands of people traumatized. The 1991 Lauberhorn race was cancelled in his honor, and more importantly, his accident led to significant improvements in safety measures, especially in the redesign of the safety nets, to ensure that no skier would ever suffer such a horrifying event ever again. Conquering Mount Everest is both an...
Alright, okay. Now, the next ones are going to be chill, alright? It's just going to be simple, like nothing like, just, you know, gory or horrible, alright? This next one's going to be chill. Right, it's gonna be cool, right? It's gonna be uplifting, you know?
An impressive and scary feat for the majority of climbers. 4.4 people die every single year trying to get up and then down again. But for some, even this is not enough to make them feel alive. Marco Zeffredi was a French snowboarder and mountaineer.
Damn, that hair!
But instead of doing both of these activities separately, he decided to combine them into one extremely dangerous but exhilarating sport. In 1996, only about a year after he learned how to snowboard, Marco decided to take up the challenge of climbing mountains for the sake of getting back down again by snowboarding. He made his first big descent from the Mallory route on the north face of the Aiguille du Midi. A descent that was around 3,300 feet, with passages close to 55 degrees. which is very steep. And this would be the very beginning of him risking everything to make his life a bit more exciting. At the end of the season, he made the first...
I'm fine being the most unathletic person ever. Yeah, same. Dude, I'm glad I'm not like an adrenaline junkie, dude. Holy shit. I am glad I was born into this world not giving a shit about adrenaline, bro.
Ever snowboard descent of the mountain Chardonnay, choosing yet again a route with 55-degree passages that could very much end him tragically. He made this descent with the help of his friend Philip Ford, who would later die in an avalanche, which is not an uncommon thing. Marco's brother Pierre also perished in the same way.
You think he would catch the hint? You know what I mean? Think he'd be like, you know, 2 people I'm very close to have already died. Ah, fuck it. Let's keep going.
Kinds of tragic events happening to loved ones might scare off a lot of people. But Marco just kept going bigger and bigger, not caring about the risks. The next couple of years he would continue to add more descents to his resume. In 1999, he did the first snowboard descent and second ever descent of the Mont Blanc on the Aiguille Verte. 3,200
non-block on the flip good block.
Got an 80-foot line and sections reaching 60 degrees, a feat that solidified him among the world's best extreme snowboarders. After risking his life a couple of times over, he decided to go for the creme de la creme, a descent down Mount Everest.
Oh, that's
smart. He wanted
smart.
to be the first ever to achieve the impossible.
That's smart.
And on May 23rd, 2001, it was time to make this very dream a reality. It was a day after his birthday, and Marco just reached the summit of Everest with the help of extra oxygen alongside 2 Sherpas, who are an ethnic group that live in the high mountain regions. He had prepared for months to do this
Bro, people live up there?
very thing, and he's now quite literally on the top of the world, ready to descend again. But to his unfortunate surprise,
Yeah, I remember like seeing videos of like people, you know, walking up Mount Everest and shit, and they just like see dead bodies. Like there's just dead bodies just like up there because, you know, people die all the time trying to climb Everest. So I don't know. That's just, I don't know how you climb up that and see dead bodies. You're like, oh, yeah, let's keep going. Fuck it.
the route that he wants to ride down isn't covered in enough snow. Even for somebody like him, such an attempt would be
Yeah, some bodies are place markers. Yeah, I've heard that too.
stupid. He has to make a decision. Giving up now would be absolutely tragic, since he surprisingly wasn't the only one crazy enough to try this. Just the day before, Austrian climber Stefan Gatt reached the summit alone, without any help, and descended Mount Everest with his snowboard successfully. He, however, stopped midway through, since he found the snow to be too hard at that altitude. That meant, if Mark managed to have an uninterrupted descent down Mount Everest right now, he would still be the first person ever to achieve this goal. So instead of choosing his preferred route, the Hornbein Couloir, which he deemed the holy grail of snowboarding, he's gonna choose the Norton Couloir, which has enough snow to make this thing possible. And just like that,
Avalanche?
he starts descending. After just 600 feet though, a fastening trap on his snowboard breaks due to the cold, meaning his boot isn't secured to the snowboard anymore. This could very much turn south in a matter of seconds. Luckily, one of the Sherpas manages to repair it by improvising, and he continues to descend more than 11,000 feet with a slope of 40 to 45 degrees, and arrives at the base camp just 4 hours after being on the highest point of Earth. Once he actually settled, the news spread to everybody invested in snowboarding,
So he makes
making
it?
him the first person to descend down the world's highest mountain continuously. But he wouldn't be in this video if this was the end of the story. Things unfortunately only go downhill from here. Marco wanted to climb Mount Everest a second time.
Bro, just take it and leave, man. Just take it and leave. You did it. You were the first one. All right? Just take it and leave. You got it, bro. You did it. Oh my God, man. Come on. He's like, you know what? I think I could do it better. You know?
And this time descend by the Hornbein Couloir, the route he wanted to take the first time around. So on Sunday, September 8th, 2002, he started preparing again. August 14, 2002, Marco goes to the base camp, the place where he can adjust to the high altitude. He looks through a telescope and he finds plenty of snow, which gives him the confidence he needs to descend with a snowboard a second time. After a while of getting used to the more difficult conditions, Marco and his team, so the other Sherpas, begin their real ascent, aiming for the higher camp on Mount Everest. The conditions, however, are brutal. Snowstorms and avalanches are tearing through the north face. Over the next couple of days, the Sherpas work on fixing the ropes and carrying
it's crazy that they have Sherpas, the people who live up there. That is insane that they're like basically guides. Like they do this on the rig. Like, oh yeah, you going up Mount Everest? Yeah, I do this shit every day. Like that's insane, bro.
the gear until they finally settle into Camp 1, which is at around 21,000 feet. Although they are nowhere near close to the summit yet, Marco is actually experiencing headaches, which wasn't really a problem the first time. But despite those difficulties, they still continue until they reach Camp 2. With the conditions not looking any better, snowstorms and icy sections are still present. And then they reach Camp 3, which is also called the Death Zone. They reached altitude so high that the human body can no longer adjust or recover, which means that the body starts to break down. And this time around, Marco feels its full effect. Things aren't going well. His entire body is aching, and with these kinds of snowstorms, snowboarding would be a no-go. But eventually, there are actually good news. Marco called his trusted meteorologist over a satellite phone almost every day to check the weather conditions. And just then, he forecasted a window of time where he could actually snowboard down Hornbein
I don't like that.
With good weather. September
I don't like the window of time. That no, the
8th is the day.
We need a whole day of time. We don't need a window of time. That's not how it works.
Finally
bro.
descend Mount Everest a second time, and the final day rolls around. The morning begins early. By 1:30 a.m., Marco and his team leave the camp, and as they climb, the Sherpas face the task of breaking through chest-deep snow, inching closer to the peak. And after 12.5 hours of progress, at 2:10 p.m., they reach the summit of Mount Everest, 29,000 feet above the sea level. Marco is exhausted, tired, too much snow, too much climbing. He says to one of the Sherpas, but his will is stronger than ever. He changes his oxygen bottle, straps on his pack, and gets ready for the descent. But just when he's about to actually go down, clouds begin to roll in. Maybe today wasn't such a good day to actually descend after all. The Sherpas warn him and urge him not to try his luck.
He said
one mistake up here can change your life forever. But Marco has prepared everything for the past year for this very moment, and he may never get the same chance again. Take care, Marco, says one of the Sherpas.
Oh no.
Okay, Furba, see you tomorrow.
He said, fuck it, we ball. Oh no.
And then Marco begins his descent. He carves a few turns into the world's highest snow, pauses, and then proceeds toward the Hornbein Couloir. And just 50 minutes later, at 3:15 p.m., he disappears. The Sherpas watching from above see him vanish into the clouds. Now the rest of the team begins their descent too. But as they go down the mountain, they spot something eerie. They see what appears to be a man standing up and then silently sliding down the mountain. The Sherpas are certain that only them and Marco should be in this very place right now, which can only mean one thing. When they reach their destination, they can't find any snowboard tracks anywhere and no sign of Marco. He's gone, and unfortunately, he never makes it back home. A memorial was held for him at the Everest base camp a month later, with his family and girlfriend as well as his good friends being there. His body was never recovered, and nobody knows what truly happened to him during his descent.
Oh, there's more!
Unfortunately, even if you try to be as safe as possible, life's...
Oh, great. There's still... Oh, it's the fucking luge, bro. Not the luge. Anything but the luge.
Sometimes has something else in mind for you. Now, I personally only faintly knew about this sport, but luge is essentially a small 1 or 2 person sled. It starts with the athletes...
4. You could do 4.
Propelling themselves with the luge. They then lie on it and navigate an icy track at speeds of 80 to 90 miles per hour. The goal, of course, is to be the fastest racer by actually steering the sled with subtle movements of the body. Now, this exact sport is in the Olympic Games, which doesn't mean that it's safe at all. It's 2010, and this year's Winter Olympics are being hosted in Canada. Among the many athletes gathered is Nodar Kumaritashvili, a 21-year-old luge athlete from Georgia. He comes from a family deeply connected to the sport. His
Isn't there also like luge where you go head first? I don't think so.
Grandfather actually introduced the activity to Soviet Georgia, and both his father and uncle competed when they were younger. The venue where the luge athletes will be competing is the Whistler Sliding Center. But before the Olympic Games even began, there were already a number of concerns about the place. The Olympic tracks in 2006 already resulted in multiple crashes. So this year, they had to make sure that everything goes as smooth as possible. But during testing, the luge speeds exceeded calculations by 6 miles per hour, reaching up to 95 miles per hour.
God damn.
Which made the Luge Federation president Joseph Fendt concerned about the athletes' safety.
The track's fast. It certainly is. You definitely have to be on your game from 11 down. I think that's definitely something that they're going to have to take into account when they design future tracks.
But nonetheless, the Vancouver Committee for the Olympic Games deemed it as safe, which might have been the wrong call. It's February.
Such an insane sport idea. Dude, someone slid down a hill once and they're like, bro, what if we made this a sport? It's like instead of sliding down snow, we slide down ice. It's like ice skates, but like we slide down it.
12.
And we go 100 miles an hour.
Just hours before the opening ceremony of the Olympic Games, Nodar is training on the track with his team. 25 whole attempts were already made, and it was now his final run. He starts his round by launching himself onto the sled, and like always, it starts off quite normal. He makes the first few turns successfully and keeps getting
they're literally flying like a fucking bullet, dude.
Faster and faster. Faster than he could ever imagine. He does more and more turns, and everybody watching him doesn't seem too worried, until he reaches the final turn of the course. This is where he suddenly loses control and is thrown off his luge and over the track's edge in a split second. He crashes into an unpadded steel support pole at the end of the run with a speed of 89 miles per hour. It's fatal. Medical teams come to his rescue immediately.
Bro, that's definitely fatal. 90 miles an hour into a steel pole.
Where they do mouth-to-mouth and CPR. And after that doesn't do anything, he's immediately transported to the hospital nearby. But the impact was just too much for him to handle, and another athlete loses his life. It is the first luge fatality since 1975. The entire country of Georgia is in shock the moment his death is broadcasted on TV. And the Georgian team announces that they might skip the entire opening ceremonies or even withdraw from the Olympics entirely to show respect. But they end up staying to dedicate their efforts to their fallen comrade. One of his teammates, however, decides to leave the event and goes back to Georgia to attend his funeral instead.
Damn, they really go open casket to another level, huh?
While the remaining teammates wear black stripes on their helmet to honor him.
Jesus Christ, man. Whew. That was rough. Dude, the dude getting ripped apart, like ripped in half though. Oh. Brr. Brr. Oh. God. It's gonna haunt my nightmares, dude. God.
Now it's time to walk away. I hope you enjoyed your stay. Did you laugh or cry or maybe subscribed? I'll thank you either way. You know I will miss you. I hope you return. Tell your friend or your mother to get me more views, please.